Hey friends, it's your favorite lender, Jennifer Grube here with Cross Country Mortgage, and I'm going to do this quick video today to talk to you all a little bit about what happens next. So, you have contacted your favorite lender in the whole wide world. By the way, that's me. You have done your application, provided all your documentation. Now you're pre-approved, but now what do you do? The short answer is, now here comes the fun part. It's time to buy a house. And while that part is super exciting, there's a few key pieces of information that you can know about how the process is going to go from here on out. Now, I always like to say that I'm your new BFF, and I am, but I'm willing to share. Your other BFF is going to be your realtor. And now that your realtor has all of the information that I have provided with regard to your financial situation, they're going to help you to find a property that not only meets all of your requirements, punch list items, but also works for you financially. Now, you're going to be looking at properties that meet all of that criteria, and then when you find the one, you're going to know, and your realtor is going to know too, because you're going to be looking at it like you did your first crush. Okay, snap out of it. We got to get serious here because it's time to make an offer. Since we have already gone through all of your financial information in advance, we already know what kind of things we need to meet in order to make this work for you. Purchase price, seller concessions, closing dates, and things like that. Your realtor and I will work together to make sure that you have a good estimated payment and funds out of pocket so that you know that what you're offering is going to work for you. The next victory on the way to buying your home is when your offer is accepted. Okay, now circling back around to the boring stuff, the money. There are 4 items that you may be required to pay in advance prior to closing. Okay, first thing is going to be something called an earnest money deposit. You'll pay this no matter what state you're in, but it's going to vary in how much it is depending on where you are. New Jersey and Pennsylvania, somewhere around $1,000 to $2,000, generally speaking. And in the state of Texas, it is customary for it to be 1% of the purchase price. But all these things are also negotiable and can vary. The next item is something that is only required in the state of Texas and is something called an option fee. It is generally about $100 to $250. It is also negotiable and can be different amounts depending upon what is negotiated in your contract. And that fee is something that you pay directly to the seller, and that holds the property during your option period, which I will explain also in a moment. The third item is something that is completely optional. You don't have to do it, but it is always strongly recommended that you do. And that is something called a home inspection. A home inspection is something that you do as a buyer to make sure that you know what the condition is of the property that you are buying. It is usually around $400 to $500. It can be higher amounts and different amounts depending upon if you get other types of inspections like radon or termite inspections and things like that. It is, like I said, optional. As your lender, we will never even see it. It's something that you do for yourself as a buyer and something you want to do during that option period, which is generally speaking about 7 to 10 days or so from the time that you execute your contract that you have to get that inspection done and make any adjustments or back out of the contract if you choose. And that last and fourth item is something that is very important to us as the lender, and that is your appraisal. Your appraisal is something that we will order on your behalf. It is ordered through a third-party intermediary. We do not get to choose the appraiser like you do with your home inspection. It is done through an appraisal management company, which is an uninterested third party that chooses the appraiser at random. This is how we are going to know what the property is worth. And of course, that is very important to us because your property is your collateral for your mortgage. The cost for that appraisal is based on various different things, such as the occupancy, meaning if you are going to occupy the property as your primary residence or if you are purchasing it as an investment property. The size of the property, square footage or acreage. The difficulty of the appraisal, such as like if it's in a rural area or a hard to get to area, if the property is unique. And also if you need it to be rushed or not. The cost for it, though, you can expect to be anywhere between $500 to $750. All of these items, with the exception of the home inspection, are part of your closing costs. So you'll pay them upfront and in advance, but then you'll be credited for them at closing. So it's not in addition to your closing costs, it's part of your closing costs, but something you pay for upfront. You can expect to pay for these items within the first 7 to 10 days from the time that you go under contract. So my friends, these are all key points so that you can have financial preparedness for your transaction. If it seems like a lot of things and you're not really sure if you're going to remember, don't worry, you don't need to, because myself and your realtor are going to be holding your hand all the way through. just like you did with your first crush. Okay, maybe not exactly like that, because I feel like that's kind of stepping over a line, sort of, but you know what I mean. If you want to know more about this or any other stages of the loan process, you know how to reach me, 856-979-7542. Peace out, Cub Scout.